Hello, everyone. This is Adiel, your tour guide from Israel, Jerusalem, at the special place Neman Karim, the neighborhood in Jerusalem. Um, here through your service, as every week, I'm giving you the updates of Israel, some small part about the Torah portion, which is a weekly part of the Bible that the Jewish people read together in their congregation, and then we'll pick up a side of the day, and then we'll end up with some nice tune. I have to admit, I'm always excited when I'm giving you this kind of video. But your great feedbacks after always give me more, like more inspiration, inspired me. So keep doing it, and feel free also to do it in the site itself, in the Wiseman Travel, in the Facebook, so more people can like share it and enjoy from it. So thanks for all your comments so far. All right, this week I'm making the video already on Thursday, and you'll see it on Saturday. So maybe some of the news are going to change, but and some of them already mentioned this week. Israel is going back to routine. The schools been open on Sunday. Local places been like public places been open for people. Uh, it's already allowed to visit family from like first degree. So I'm for example, this Shabbat tomorrow I'm going to visit my siblings. We haven't done Friday evening together for about 2 months, so it's pretty exciting. So yeah, this is about that. Another thing is that it seemed like Israel is going to have finally a government, because 72 members out of the parliament. We're talking there are about 120 members in the parliament. If you want to learn a little bit more about the parliament, you can check the video from last week. But basically, in order to build a government, a prime minister need to have at least a major of 61, because then it's more than 50% out of the members in the parliament. So 72 were approving Benjamin Netanyahu as their chairman, as their prime minister. So it seemed like we're gonna have a government after more than 9 months that we haven't had one. So it's pretty good news. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit after we're talking about Israel today. Let's talk a little bit about the Torah portion, and and this Shabbat we're going to read chapters 21 to 24 at Leviticus. If you open the Bible and check chapter 21, you'll see that it's dealing a lot about the priest, and about different kind of commands that they have from God, and different kind of criterias which able them or disable them to work in the temple and function as priests. So, for example, we learn. Okay, first of all, we'll learn from all these criterias about the priest. We learn that there used to be like a high level, and that's something that created a lot of criticism after now in our days, looking at it back to creating some kind of elite level. And this day we're living in a democratic country, it's something which is hard to grasp. So but if we understand that we're looking at the priest as some kind of vessels, right? So it's not about people that they are superior on their brother. They're only vessels to become a mediator between the people and God. So it's something that helps us to understand why they should be like almost in a perfect level, especially on their appearance. So this is one thing that we learn once we're reading the verses. And this is probably why they couldn't have any kind of damage on their exterior. Okay, they needed to be like almost they should have been in perfect condition in order to serve in the temple. So that's related to the part of the vessel. Another interesting thing is that there is a command that they must be away from any kind of death. Okay, they couldn't get any closer to bodies or anything which related to that. Now, trying to explain that, it's probably related to the fact that priests in the old time, in the ancient world, the pagan one obviously used to deal a lot with death and dead people and bodies, and used to make different kind of rituals in order to like read the future, and to make different kind of rituals which basically by Judaism are not allowed. So that was probably the main reason why priests should have been uh, in such a distance from any kind, from cemetery and any kind of, like something which related to death. Another interesting thing is that priests are not allowed, even up till today, and we're going to speak about that also, about the priests of today, but they were not allowed to get married to widows and women which were divorced. And again, it's not about the idea that they were elite. It's more about the idea of trying to maintain them and their DNA as much as possible to the authentic. And that's bring us today to some research, and I was amazed to learn that DNA research on the priest that came from different communities, Jewish communities, because as you know, Jewish people used to live all over the world, whether we're speaking about Yemen, which is in the Arab area, or in the parts of Africa, or in Europe. Anyway, research that had been conducted upon them find out that going back 106 generation, and yet the structure of the DNA maintains the same or very close, which is something that you cannot, you can't really explain by some kind of randomness or something like that. It's something that probably related to the fact that they had this kind of instructions. Who are they allowed to get married and to maintain their DNA? So yeah, this is pretty fascinating. So today there is still the level of the priest, and by Judaism there is a belief that the third temple is going to be rebuilt, and then in those days they're going to be served again as and take their role. But even up till today, the priests are not allowed. They're not allowed to get any closer to cemeteries or get married with widow and divorced women. Same as we just read in the Bible. So it still apply for today. It's interesting, because some of the famous characters, such as Leonard Cohen, right? He came from a family of priests, or Cohen brothers, right, from the film industry. They're also from families of priests. Yeah, it's something which is still relevant up to our days. Another thing which is interesting that the priests still do up to our days is that they give the blessing of the priest. So if you open Numbers chapter 6 verses 23 to 27, then you'll find the verses which says, Adonai bless you and guard you. Adonai make his face shine unto you and be gracious to you. Adonai lift up his face into you and give you peace. In Hebrew it's Yevachecha Hashem v'yishmerecha, Ye'er Hashem panav elecha v'yichunecha, Yisa Hashem panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Now, up to our days, in the morning prayer, the priests still give this kind of blessing to the public. Now, the way they're doing it, they're putting a prayer shawl upon them, so they are covered, and the public are not allowed to look at them, which is something I remember as a kid. I remember that when I was told that, so I thought that my eyes are going to burn looking at them. Obviously, at some point, like at the same as a wife of Lot, I had to pick. I can still see, thank God, but today trying to understand that, so I figure out that the reason that it's not allowed to look at them is because while the priest giving their praying, so they're also doing a form with their fingers, which is like this. Do you know that? Okay, this is from Star World, which, by the way, it's also been inspired from the priest. So anyway, yeah, this sign is also accordingly, apparently, by mysticism, by the Jewish mysticism, it's representing the name of God, the name that we're not allowed to pronounce, which is Jehovah. So this is why the public are not allowed to look at the priest during this blessing. Yeah, this is about the priest, and it's interesting to read that between chapter 21 to 24. Um, Let's speak about side of the day. Okay, later I'm gonna put some photos, but our side of the day is the Israel Museum, and that's related also to the priest, because going there is a section which, again, I'm going to add that photo, but there is one of the interesting finding is the blessing of the priest. So it's a rolled silver piece that been found and dated to the 8th century BC, and with the blessing of the priest. It's been found in the area of Jerusalem, and it's probably one of the most ancient Hebrew letters that related to the Bible. So that's one thing which worth to bring you into the Israel Museum. Another thing which is interesting is to go and visit Shrine of the Book. You have to forgive me for the quality of showing you in a computer. Later I'll show you. Later, as I said, I'm going to add that on the site, so you'll be able to see it. But okay, this is Shrine of the Book. Okay, this is the way it's looked from the outside, and here, this is the upper level, and this is where they keep also at this point. Here you go. Here inside, this is a place where they keep the Dead Sea Scrolls, and Dead Sea Scrolls are dated to this. There are scrolls that dated to the 2nd century BC, and they consider to be the most ancient Jewish text that been found in every place in the world. Jewish Bible, sorry. So it's pretty fascinating. It used to be a community of the Essenes lived in the area of the Dead Sea. And like about 70 years ago, the scrolls of the Essenes being found and been exhibited in more and more parts in the Judean desert, and all been brought, or most of it been brought, to the Shrine of the Book. So also it's a fascinating place to visit. One thing which I forgot to say is that this part here, they're demonstrating a replica of Isaiah. Okay, now it's interesting to say that a couple of scrolls of Isaiah has been found in very good condition. So it's also very exciting about that. Great, guys. Feel free also to, if you have more questions. I'm trying not to make it long because in the previous time it was too long. So it's applicable for the Corona time. But now we're going back to routine, and obviously we have less and less time to sit and watch the video. So if you have any kind of question, feel free to send it to me on the chat on my Facebook, and I'll be happy to answer. And I'll be happy also to end up with the song, and that song is Jerusalem of Gold. By the way, the metal piece of this is a metal piece of the priest, right? With the blessing of the priest, the finding from the 8th century BC. So yeah, this also been exhibited in the Israel Museum. All right, let's end up with the song Jerusalem of Gold, which is a song that been composed after 1967, when the old city and the new city being united, and the capital, and Jerusalem the United City was declared as a capital. So the lyrics says, mountain air as clear as wine and smell of pines carried on the wind of dust to the sounds of bells. And then I'm skipping to the chorus. Jerusalem of gold and of copper and of copper and of light. For to all of your melodies I am the violin. Jerusalem of gold and of copper and of light. For to all of your melodies I am the violin. So this song is still the I would say the anthem of the city of Jerusalem. I'm gonna sing two parts of it in Hebrew, of course, and then the chorus. And you can join me by hymn to yourself. I'll send after also the lyrics, so feel free to try to join at your place. Sorry about that. All right. Isn't it incredible that now in virtual times we keep learning from our mistake, right? But in next year in Jerusalem, we're gonna meet up front in a like face to face, and that's my blessing to end that up. Less cameras and more front encounters. All right. Perfect. Amazing. Stand still. All right. אוויר הרים צלול כיין בריח אורנים נישא ברוח הארבעים עם כל פעמונים ובתרדמת אילן ואבן שבויה בחלומה העיר אשר בדד יושבת ובליבה חומה ירושלים. This is a sign of God. Now we need to stand still before the chorus, take a deep breath, and then sing all together. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, הלא לך שירייך אני כינור. ירושלים של זהב ושל נחושת ושל אור, הלא לך שירייך אני כינור. Love you all, guys. See you next week. Don't forget to make comments, share, spread the video, and let's keep in touch. Goodbye. This is Adiel. Love you all.